All right, everybody. We have transitioned from the whiteboard right there to my desktop. And so I'm going to talk to you about my WordPress blog or my WordPress website, however you want to talk about that. Again, those terms are pretty much interchangeable for me. So let's talk about it. Here we are, thefitclubnetwork.com. The first thing that kind of stands out at you, let me just refresh this really quickly, is going to happen now. This thing that pops up. This is not part of my WordPress installation. I pay extra money to a company called vSita that allows people to come here, and this thing follows everything around. So you'll see it's constantly saying, let's talk. And then you can leave your details. And I don't remember exactly how much we pay for this. We do pay for this though, and it's a scheduler. They can book appointments. I had it set to book appointments with me in the beginning. And I kept having people flake on appointments and kind of go, I don't know what you're talking about. So I took the appointment scheduler off of it and just left it as like a contact form. There's probably a cheaper way you can do that. But I like this, I like this. They, again, they just click on this thing and they send me an email, and we get a lot of emails from this. And this has been a nice little addition to our site. So that works. And I'm gonna just close my window here so my neighbors don't have to hear all about our WordPress blog. Okay, so back to the home page. All of this stuff, with the exception of this, this thing that pops up, is just part of a very standard WordPress template. I know it looks super fancy with the slider. I make it just a little bit smaller here so we can see the whole thing. With the slider and everything, it looks super tech, and like this must have been really hard to put together. All of this stuff, this, links up to the social media, this about us, these little, whatever sections that are in here, and even the way that the pages lay out. Let's just look at this 21 Days of Fixmas post. The way this is laid out with all of this stuff is just a very, very standard WordPress template. I mean, this really is not even a fancy one. It's one of the older themes that exists, and updating it is really pretty simple. It's a lot like updating or word processing is what it's like. It's like Microsoft Word. I'll show you when we get in there and when I log in. But this is just an example of a really standard post that is regular content that we go through. This 21 Days of Fixmas is this thing we're doing, and so I update this with every, I'm a little bit behind here. We're on day 7 now, so I've got a little bit of work to do. Maybe I'll show you how I do that as we kind of get into the site. But this is all just part of this WordPress template that it just is the way it is. These up here are pages, so these are static. They don't change in the overall order of things. And these are things like a sales page, for example. This is a sales page for the 21-day fix. There's a little video of Monica's what's in the box. And some of what you can get, links. I'll show you how to do the links. It's really easy. You just go to Coaching Codes, pull the link you need, and then insert it like this. It's really, this stuff is, whoa, I clicked on the wrong thing. This stuff is really pretty simple, okay? And so I'm gonna show that to you now. Let's dive into the back office a little bit, and I'll show you that it's not that complicated. Everybody has the same login. It's mysite.com, WP admin, and remembers who I am. Oh, it's so good to see you again, WordPress. And they say howdy. Oh, yay, howdy. This is the first thing you see when you log in, and it kind of says, okay, these are the drafts you're working on. I don't spend a lot of time on this page, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this page. Let me show you one of the areas where I do spend a lot of time, and that's with Jetpack. And Jetpack is a plugin that you can install on your site. I'll kind of show you how to do that a little bit. I'm going to suggest you Google it. And I like Jetpack a lot, and the reason I like Jetpack is Site Stats. There's other plugins you can use for Site Stats too. You don't have to use Jetpack. That's what I use. And I'll show you why. I think the information is really easy. It kind of gives you your overall stats. This is what's been going on over the last 30 days or whatever. You can see I'm kind of creeping up on 2 million views. And let's just click everything to yesterday, and then we'll go through it, and I'll show you what I'm looking at when I'm looking at this stuff. The first thing I always look at is what is the top post. Top post, 21-day fix meal plan. I kind of went through that in the video with the whiteboard about how that works for us. And as you can see, if we go down here for the search engine terms, 21-day fixed meal plan is the #1 search engine term. I'm going to show you that page really quickly so you can kind of see what's here and how we did it. Initially, what was here was this one video of Monica where she's basically, I'll fast forward it a little bit.
The deliciousness of peanut butter.
She's packing up a cooler to go to a seminar.
Did I never hear peanut butter?
And it's like how to travel with the 21-day fix. That's what we originally had up there. This page started to get a little traction. We added this video, which was a video that we already had.
Chicken, tilapia, because I love tilapia.
Where Monica's going through doing her meal plan. This is what she does. She sits down with these programs and writes out the foods that she wants to eat. People find that tremendously helpful. People love that content. So the page started to do better and better, or the post rather started to do better and better. So then we decided, okay, let's add an email marketing aspect to this. I'm not going to get into email marketing. If you want more information on email marketing, go to FCN, as in Fit Club Network, fcnmarketing.com, and click on the email marketing link, and it will tell you all about this and what we're doing here. But we added an email collector to this page because it was doing really well. This is a very simple introduction to the page, what's here on the page, and what you're going to get if you enter your email address. That's what you do when you start to recognize that this is the best page you've got. Don't just leave it alone. If you've got a page that is even getting a few searches, as you can see, 19, it's not a staggering amount of searches, but that stuff adds up. We made the page better. We made that post better, and that's what I'm going to really encourage you to do. So here's what I look at. I say search engines. As we can see, Google is the one that most people come from. Bing and Yahoo are, sort of competing for second place. Not an insignificant amount of search traffic from those sites. And so, we're kind of trying to do what we can a little bit more to work with Yahoo and Bing. I don't have anything for you at this point because it's not something that I've spent a whole lot of time on. But it's kind of cool. You can see, like, I don't even know who this is. Like, somebody clicked on our site, which means that whatever this site, I don't even know what this site is, but they're ranking us for something. It's some sort of minor search engine, I guess. I don't even know what that is. There's another one here that, let's click on that and see what that one is. Pinoy Exchange. This appears to be a message board for Filipino people who are doing insanity. Somebody, thanks, they linked us to it. Cool, awesome. That's one of the resources I'm getting traffic from. If I started to see this over and over and over again, I might go there and post on it, just kind of follow it back and say, hey, if you guys have questions, don't forget, you can ask me. I'm here for your help, or I'm here to help you rather. So, that kind of gives you an idea. And then here we look at, what are the outgoing links? So in other words, when people come to our website, what are they clicking on? So let's take a look. It's a Google Doc. I happen to know what this Google Doc is because it is this Body Beast calorie calculator. I put together a very simple spreadsheet that people can use to calculate their calories, and somebody didn't follow the instructions and they've kind of ruined it, so I'll have to go back and fix it, but that's okay. I know people, like 27 people clicked on that. That's pretty awesome. Like, great, that's working. Maybe I need to take another look at that and make that better and route that back to me. I don't know exactly how I would do that, but it's something to think about. Team Beachbody. So this is interesting. 2 people bought Combat, or at least clicked on the link to buy Combat yesterday. That's kind of cool. And these are just sales links that go into Team Beachbody to the web store. I'll talk a little bit about inserting links. Again, this technical stuff, I'm trying to show you how easy this is. If you have questions about how to use WordPress, you got to Google it. At some point, I had to take control of my business and put on my big boy pants and go Google it. And that may not be a message you want to hear, but it's the truth. I learned how to do this stuff all by myself. When I started this, I had zero experience with websites or programming or any of that stuff. I had to figure it all out, and I'm gonna put the same thing on you to go figure it out. I will add that I like Jetpack. So you might think about including this Jetpack in your list of plugins that you like. Let's look at plugins really quickly, and I'll show you, just kind of how easy plugins are. let's see, we need to update a few of my plugins. I'll show you how simple that is. You basically highlight, you click plugin, and you click update, and you click apply, and then it asks you if you want to restore. These are pretty minor updates. It should just take a couple of minutes here, hopefully. Usually it's pretty quick. Usually it's done by now, and there it is. It's done. I've just updated these plugins. That's kind of how easy it is to manage your plugins. So it is something you want to do regularly. Just kind of go in here, and if you notice, there was a thing here that let me know that there were 3 new updates for these plugins. Adding a new plugin is really pretty simple. You go and you find the plugin you want. Here's Jetpack. What do you know? If there was a simple, easy way to test your theme, make sure it's good to go. Whatever this super cache thing. I mean, there's a ton, there's billions of plugins. So you can go in here and you can see, well, what's popular? What plugins are people using? This is one that I'm going to talk about. And is one of the best plugins that I have. In addition to Jetpack, Yoast, this WordPress SEO by Yoast is, I think, a must-have. I also like this Google Analytics by Yoast. They make really good stuff that makes SEO super, super easy. I will show that to you probably now. So let's look at posts. Let's look at all posts. And again, posts are these things here, like this one. Okay, they're just the posts on your website. And they're just like a blog post. You could call this a blog post because that's what it is. We use these terms interchangeably. One of the things I like about this plugin, this Yoast plugin, is it tells me my SEO. So you can see green light. Uh-oh, I got a red light here. Well, I clicked on that and I shouldn't have done that. Let's try again. I want it by most recent. Yes. So green, 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 green. Uh-oh, I got a yellow. This was a post that I didn't really try to SEO. Sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I just have posts that I want to get out there that I think like no one's going to search for this necessarily. It's important for me to have on the site. It's maybe just something I want for our subscribers or that I want people who watch me on social media to see. It's not necessarily something I think is like, oh, it's going to be really important for me to have that post get found on Google, found via search. But if it is, and when it is, I got to have this green light. And I'm going to show that to you in just a minute. And I'm going to go to one particular post that I am looking for that I can maybe show you. And I think I skipped over it. Either that or things are way out of whack here. Let me try that. Here it is. 21-day fix versus the ultimate reset. So at the time I was doing the reset, Monica was doing the 21-day fix, and we decided to sit down and put together this blog post. I will show it to you about comparing the two things. It's just like compare and contrast, which seemed like a kind of a no-brainer. We sat down, we filmed this video. It's kind of a long video, but we both talk about like what's going on with these two different programs. And as you can see, sprinkled throughout here are links. Like this link goes to another page on our website, probably the sales page would be my guess, and it's an error. That's no good. Want to clean that one up. And here's one that goes to the ultimate reset, which should just go to my sales page. Again, it's like people, what is going on with that? We got a bunch of bad links. That's no good at all. Unless I'm just in preview mode. I'm not sure why that's doing that. Like this one down here, you can, if you watch this area, you can see what the link is. See how that pops up? So that's going back to our old friend, the 21-day fix meal plan page, because that is a good page, right? So we have, all these little links that are internal links. We also have, links that are going to take people to the website to purchase, and it just kind of depends on what we're talking about how we do that. But I wanted to show you this post because I wanted to mainly show you this plugin, which if we just keep going down here, we'll see that the search I am trying to keyword for, in other words, what I'm thinking people are going to type into Google. This is how you do SEO. I think to myself, okay, I've been getting questions from people who are debating between doing the 21-day fix and the ultimate reset. if I was in their shoes, what would I type in to Google? The answer I came up with was 21-day fix versus ultimate reset. That doesn't seem to be what people are typing into Google because no one's really finding this page. But, so I got it wrong. Well, surprise, surprise. At 90% of the time, I'm going to get it wrong. That's not what you play the game for. You play the game for the 10% of the time that you hit a home run. You got to swing for the fences when it comes to this stuff. Most people will paralyze themselves by overthinking this stuff instead of just getting the content up there and then seeing what happens. But my bet was that this would be the great search that people were looking for. So what is this doing? Well, this plugin, this Yoast plugin, is telling me you've done a pretty good job here because you have it in the article heading, which is, here, I'll actually just switch over to the post. This is the article heading right here, this bit. You need to have whatever that search term is in your article heading. And Yoast makes it easy because it says, don't forget that. The page title. If you were to look at this page, if it didn't have this here, the page title would be 21-day-fix- sorry about that, ultimate reset, right? And so it's in the page title, it's in the page URL. It's in the content. Somewhere in this content, I've typed in the words 21-day fix versus ultimate reset. Somewhere in here, I don't know where it's at. I've got it in the meta description. This is the meta description. The meta description is basically when people search for, let's just try that search really quickly. Let me just copy that and see what happens. What do you know? We come up first. This is a meta. This is your meta right here. Okay, so you can tweak that very simply using Yoast. If you don't use Yoast, it's going to take the first. It's going to take the first whoops. It's going to take the first however many 140 characters, and this is not what. Okay, I'm sorry. That's Janet trying to get a hold of me. Anyway, this is not what I want people to see when they're searching. I want them to see, are you wondering about the differences between the 21-day fix versus the ultimate reset? Keywords. Watch this video by Beachbody coaches Dave and Monica Moore for more, right? So that's my meta. So what Yoast does for me, though, this plugin, which just appears on every post, is it tells me, like, if I didn't have that in here, you'd see, like, I'll just change it really quickly. See how it changes the meta description? It says no, because I don't have my keyword in there. Now when I go like that, all of a sudden, these keywords remain intact, and I have them in my meta description. Okay, I could do the same thing by tweaking, any number of other aspects of this particular post. So it makes it really easy. It also gives you this page analysis. Again, this is not a super well keyworded post. If I thought this was going to be a home run, or people started to find it, like when people started to find that 21-day fix meal plan, I went right in here and was like, okay, I got to hit every nail on the head. If I saw that the keyword density was too low and I was getting an orange dot for that, I'd go in and I'd fix that. And I did fix it on that other page. No outbound links appear. Oh, you might want an outbound link to a sales page or to another website or whatever. You've used the keyword before, okay? You want to make it clear what you're doing. So, then, okay, things you're good for. Okay, look, it's easy to read. The keyword appears in the URL. This is all the good stuff that I've done that, is helping me. I can go into like these advanced things, and there's all kinds of little stuff you can play with here. I don't mess around with this stuff a whole lot. I'm really more focused on making sure that if I think this is the search term that people are going to use to find my content, that I have it in here in a way that when Google crawls across the site, it looks at it and says, hunky-dory, you've got all this stuff nailed. You got a green light for that. Boom. Then I add all these tags over here, all right? Because they're all related to what the post is. Tags are not as important as they used to be. At some point, they were very important. But you can see how this is just like word processing, basically, right? Like, if I wanted to take, let's just tweak this a little bit. This is a heading, right? I could make it a paragraph, and then it's going to look like that. Or I could take this, and I could make it back into a heading, and then it's going to look like that. What's the difference? Well, This is a heading. This is a paragraph. So it just looks like it's just like a word processor. I mean, that's really how simple WordPress is to create content. Let me just get a new post here so I don't start messing around with existing stuff. You know, you enter your post title, you enter your content, boom, boom, boom. If I wanted to make this a link, I could you click the insert link thing. If this was a link to the 21-day fix challenge pack, I go to coaching codes, enter in my coach ID, and copy that link and paste it right here. And what ends up happening is this becomes a hard link that goes somewhere, that leads out. Inserting pictures, super easy. You know, I could upload a new file. I'll just upload one really quickly just to show you how like easy this is. This is just, you know, something, let's just grab something off my desktop. Upload a new file, great, here it comes, it's almost done, there it is, and then I click insert into post, and boom, it inserts it into the post, okay? And I can move it around the text, I can, you know, I can change the size of it. I mean, you can see how easy this is. I mean, this is just, it's just word processing. You know, you just drag and drop stuff. Super, super simple. The only thing that's a little tricky is inserting a WordPress or a YouTube video. So I'm going to show you that really quickly. And we'll just go to YouTube. And I'm just going to pull up the last video and show you how to do it because it's kind of the only tricky thing. And again, there's a bazillion posts on this, okay? Just a bazillion. But you go to your video and you go to share and you need the embed code. You copy that code. Whoops. And then you go back to your post and you paste it right there. Whoops. I'm sorry. Before you copy your code, you make sure you're in text mode. That's where it gets a little tricky. See all this stuff? That's the stuff that scares people. That's HTML code. You don't need to know it, except for this one thing. And you just need to be in text mode, and then you paste your content in there, and you go back to visual. And when if I looked at this and pulled and saved this page, I'm not gonna because it's just rubbish. This would appear as a video. That's how easy it is. Like, you just upload your video to YouTube, click the share button, get the embed code, copy it, come back to your post, make sure you're in text edit mode, paste it. When you go back to visual, now you'll see the video will be there twice. That's kind of the most complicated thing about doing these posts, okay, is making sure that you've got the SEO correct and that you have that you make it nice and clean, and that you type in what you want to type in, you add the graphics you want to add, and you just kind of make it work, and then you play with it, you know. But it's not a complicated thing. It's the reason I really wanted to show this to you, is just to illustrate that it's really pretty straightforward once you have it all set up. Again, you know, I had to hire somebody to set up, to put this template together for me, and that's a, you know, there's a wide range of costs to do that, but you could do it with Practical Social Media for really cheap and just use, you know, their templates. Their templates are fine. I'll go look at one real quick. So again, Practical Social Media, Tracy Morrow. Let's go and take a look. Beachbody stuff. Here's whoops. Let's see what this is. So this is their sales page, right? I'm looking for the different templates so we can look at one. Ah, I clicked on the wrong link. This is the link you want. Okay, and so what this allows, and you can go in here and you can look at these different, they used to have like live demos that you could play with. But there's 3 different themes. The point is there's 3 different themes. As you can see, this is just a WordPress theme. I wish I could find the one that has like the live. I wonder why I took that down. That's weird. It used to be live, so you could go in here and you could like click on this stuff. But you can see this is a WordPress theme. It's different than the one I have. This, I believe, is a slider, a lot like mine. these are all, you know, different areas that people can go and click and shop now and join my team. And he's made this super, super simple. You go in, you enter your coach ID number, and it links everything to your shop. You know, you've got your workouts. If I was able to drop this down, it would pop down and it would show different sales pages for different workouts. You're able to put your own posts up here as well. And you're able to customize this a little bit, but, you know, not to the extent that I want to be able to customize it. And so that's why I use my own WordPress installation, and also because I just started doing it before this was available. So that is what, you know, really makes the most sense to me. I'm trying to think of what else I want to show you while I'm in here. Yeah, not a lot. I think that's really where I'll leave it as far as showing you what the WordPress back office is like. As far as the functionality of it, it's really very straightforward. You know, again, you're going to recognize a lot of this stuff. It's like, how do I move this text? I don't know. You just center it. It's that simple. You know, how do I make a link? Well, you insert a link. You know, I could say, you know, and all of a sudden that you can see how it changes. That's now a link to this other blog that I have. It's just kind of that simple, you know. The key thing, I guess, one more thing I want to show you. The key thing is with this Yoast, using this Yoast plugin. Everybody's got questions about SEO. Get this plugin. I'm pretty sure it's free. Here's how I kind of go about search terms. Okay, I thought this would be a great search term. Turns out, not so much. But 450,000 people have searched for this. Okay, and as you can see, like, there's another person here who's got a video on it. We've got a video on it. There's a Pinterest board that is coming up. There's a lot of stuff that's coming up. You know, here's us again. You know, a lot of stuff that's coming up. Let me look at 21-day fixed meal plan. Now I'm up to 2.5 million results. That's obviously a better search term, you know, and as you can see, there's other people who are focusing on it. We don't come up first. I'm kind of surprised we're not on top of this page. You know, we were. I'll probably have to go back and do a little more work on the page. That's part of the thing. But I know that's a pretty good search term because this many people are searching for it. Now, if I do P90X, let's just do 21-day fix. It's, you know, 140 million searches. You're not going to compete for that. You know, in all likelihood, you're not going to compete for that. Mine is popping up here because it's recognizing me logged into Google, and so it's showing me my own stuff because Google does that. It looks at who you are and who you know and triangulates all that stuff. Your search results are going to be different than mine because that's how Google works. But this will give you a pretty good idea of where to go with it. And again, you know, you figure out what what the search is that you think people are going to be looking for. You build the content around that, you know, 21-day fix recipes, right? And it's going to tell me, dude, you don't have anything in your article headings, your page title, your URL, of course, because it's just a bunch of garbage, right? But if I started to add that stuff in, I'll just show you. Boom, all of a sudden my meta description changes. That's super, super easy. My page analysis, it's so bad that, you know, it's not even updating. But that should give you an idea of how easy it is to make posts, how easy it is to kind of put this stuff together and really use a WordPress blog. You know, it's just kind of that simple. So, yeah, that's about it for now. Like I said, I am working a little bit to try and see, you know, if I can find you guys a private developer that you can work with if you want to build your own customizable site that you can use. If not, check out this Tracy Morrow blogging service. I mean, you know, again, I think, you know, the stuff that comes along with this Practical Social Media University is really easy to use. And the blogs are good blogs. You know, here's another template. I mean, you can see that it's just a WordPress template. I mean, it's very, very simple. They look really clean. They're updated automatically. It's not super customizable, which is why it's not something that I use. I want the ability that if I don't, you know, like something in here, I can just change it. I'm kind of a control freak. And this is what I do for a living. I sit at this desk all day long and do this stuff. So I've got the time to handle that. If you don't, consider that. It's a lower cost, lower level of entry way to get involved and start to brand yourself. Start to create what I was talking about in that other video, which is you and your brand. All right, that's all I got for now. If you have questions about this stuff, please comment below. Please try to keep your questions on a higher level. I'm not going to answer questions about how do I insert a picture. I don't know how to figure out a link. Google that stuff, okay? You guys need to take control of your business and take charge of your business and be the boss. And sometimes being the boss means figuring it out. I'm not going to do that stuff for you. If you have questions or confused by something that I can help with, it's on a more higher level stuff, then I'm totally willing to do that. I've spent, really a couple of hours today putting together this training for you guys. And I hope you found it helpful, and I hope it helps you with your blog, and I hope you will reach out to me with your questions, and I will talk to you guys later, and we'll try and continue this series, and maybe I'll just do one on like some of the different social media outlets and maybe some of the stuff about Google authorship. I think that stuff is kind of important and also often overlooked. I'm not going to cover Facebook. Everybody seems to know how to use Facebook. All right, talk to you guys later.